Good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes. This is Abelardo de la Peña Jr., Director of Marketing and Communications with La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, welcoming you to today's edition of En Casa con La Plaza Cocina. 3 times a week, we'll be bringing to you En Casa con La Plaza, the best of our community's history, art, and culture from our home to yours. But today I'm broadcasting from here at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. We've been reopened now for a couple weeks, so make your reservations. Go to our website, lapca.org. But to get back to En Casa con La Plaza, thank you to our sponsors, PepsiCo and Kaiser Permanente. If you're viewing us on Zoom, please use the chat feature. Let me see now. Okay, here. I hadn't pushed the button. Welcome to all of you on Zoom to En Casa con La Plaza Cocina. Today we have with us Jimena Martin, who will be guiding us through today's demonstration. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat. Let us know where you're viewing from. Ask questions via the Q&A. Those of you on Facebook, please use the comment section. Same thing. Let us know where you're viewing from. And also, please ask questions. We'll be taking them throughout the demonstrations. And now let's bring up Jimena Martin. Jimena, come on up.
Buenas tardes. Hi, Everaldo. Thank you so much for the introductions. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Today we have a little taste of Oaxaca here. We'll be making some beef albondigas. Today we have Ivan Vasquez, Restaurateur, and Chef Marcelo from Madres. Ivan was born in Oaxaca, Mexico, and was raised with traditional recipes passed down from generation to generation. At the young age of 15, he came to the United States in search of the American dream. Ivan had been working in the restaurant industries since 1996, starting off as a dishwasher in high school and climbed his way up the ranks through the Baja Fresh company for about 15 years and eventually became a regional manager. In 2012, Ivan bought his first restaurant in Nopal, highlighting Oaxacan cuisine and mezcal in Palms. After 5 years, he opened up Madres in Torrance, and just recently he opened up another Madres in West Hollywood. So without further ado, Ivan, how are you?
Hi, thank you, Jimena, for the introduction. We're doing great. Thank you for the invitation and be part of this amazing evening with you guys. We're gonna be sharing one recipe from Oaxaca with our partner, Chef Marcelo, today. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. Welcome to our demonstration.
Thank you. Tell us how you got started in the food industry and became a restaurateur with the restaurants here in Los Angeles.
Well, as you introduced myself, I've been working in the restaurant industry for more than 20 years now. When I came to the United States, that was the only job available because I was so young, so nobody was able to hire me. I was underage. So I started as a dishwasher, as you mentioned. Then I like the restaurant concept. You know, I never worked in the restaurant business in Mexico. So I came here to the United States to support my family, to accomplish the American dream. And then I was hired by Baja Fresh after a year of being here. While I was going to school, I started as a cashier, and they keep promoting me until I was 20 years old. I became a general manager and managing 25 employees at that time. I kept myself motivated. I really liked the industry. And then I became a regional manager for them, which was very amazing, very awesome. I learned all the experience that I have in the restaurant industry thanks to this amazing company and to the owners of that company that they let me explore, they let me learn. And I decided to open my own in 2012, as you mentioned. And in 2017, I have the opportunity to open Madre and Torrance with the biggest location, with the biggest mezcal selection in the United States. And our journey continues now with West Hollywood, which has now the largest collection of the United States in mezcal. We have amazing Oaxacan recipes. So when I came to the United States, it was one of the first things that I really missed. The first time right off the bat, the first day was my mom's cooking, her recipes, her flavors, her traditions. I grew up with my mom, so she used to cook, 3 times a day. She worked from home. She was, full mom. So she used to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then every day was a different menu. My dad was very demanding, so she had to cook, recipes from her grandma, from her mom. She has to explore a lot of different recipes with, friends and all the stuff. So, all the flavors, since I got here, I was missing those flavors, those recipes, those traditions, those meals, and that was one of the first goals that I put to myself. Like, if I ever open a restaurant, it will be based on my mom's recipe, Oaxacan traditions, because Oaxaca is the kitchen of Mexico. Oaxaca is the pure kitchen of Mexico.
No, it's a beautiful story. We were fortunate to have our Christmas party there last, and it was absolutely delicious. Beautiful cocktails, beautiful scene there in Torrance. And during the pandemic, I was able to go pick up food there in West Hollywood. Delicious, different, fresh, really, really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Chef Marcelo will be presenting today.
Thank you. So today we are introducing albondigas with Marcelo. Albondigas, traditional Oaxacan albondigas are a little different than the Mexican recipes. Ours, it's a little bit of more tomato base. Mexican albondigas, they have, they put some vegetables, celery, carrots. This represents Oaxacan albondigas tradition, with our tomatoes, fresh ground beef. We use a lot of parsley. So we're gonna show the ingredients. We're gonna see the ingredients right now, right here. So this, by the way, this recipe I used not to like it because albondigas is not my favorite. But after being here for years, I start missing those albondigas. I will, pay a lot of money. Say it's something that I really not like from my mom because it was not, my favorite. But after a year, I started missing it, and that's why we're introducing albondigas because I still miss them the way my mom makes it. So we're gonna make this recipe today. So we're gonna be using and by the way, we're about to start a happy hour, so that's why we have our mezcalito here with Marcelo. So we're gonna use all these fresh ingredients. We're gonna use tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. You can see the fresh tomatoes here. We're gonna use ground beef, and then we're gonna use rice, breadcrumbs. We're gonna go over the portions right now. Onions, fresh garlic, parsley. Parsley is one of the signatures in Oaxacan cuisine for many tomato sauces and tomato-based dishes. So we're gonna use 2 pounds of ground beef. It could be 80% and 20%. So we recommend the 80% and the 20%. We're gonna use 1 cup of chopped onions, which is right over here. We're gonna use 2 ounces of parsley right here. Ground pepper, which is right here. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, 2 ounces of breadcrumbs. Boiled eggs. We're gonna use 2 boiled eggs for albondigas. We're gonna dice the boiled eggs and we're gonna put them in the albondigas. That's one of the difference between the traditional albondigas and our recipe. And then we're gonna put some salt. There's gonna be a teaspoon, half teaspoon of salt, and half teaspoon of cumin right over here. So we have all the ingredients here. We have fresh meat. Marcelo is gonna do the demonstration, and then we're gonna start with the sauce. We're gonna put the 2 pounds of tomato. We're gonna put the onions, the garlics, 2 heads of garlics.
And how many servings is this recipe for?
This one is gonna be for 10 servings.
Okay. For those folks who are watching us, we'll be posting the recipe up on Facebook and via Zoom, and definitely on our YouTube channel. Before we get started, let me see, we have some saludos from, let's see, from our friend Bruce in San Clemente. And also we have greetings from Mark Paez. Says, greetings, I've eaten many times in Nopal and Madres in Palms. I've always had a great eating experience.
Thanks for the support. Thanks for the comments. cook the tomato. And we're gonna cook the tomato. We're gonna boil it for about 24 to 35 minutes. So we're gonna put it on the stove. We're gonna go to the stove right now, and you're gonna see the finished product after. So we're gonna put it on the stove.
Okay. And how long do you leave it on the stove for?
25 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes.
Right now, it's already has the tomato.
So this is a recipe that is already cooked, and that's how it's gonna look, already boiled with the onions and the parsley.
We
Then
have
we're
a
gonna
couple
do-
more. Oops, sorry. We have a couple more saludos. We have from Elizabeth Urbina in Hesperia, Lida de los Rios, saludos desde Claremont, Johanna Carcamo, saludos desde Whittier.
Saludos.
You start to make this sauce.
We're gonna put all the products in the blender now. And actually, by the way, we're recording from our West Hollywood location, prep area. So we're gonna put all the tomatoes, the cooked garlic, and the cooked onions in there. And then you can use some of the water that you have from the stew, from the cooking process. You can use that in the blender. So the same water, so that way it keeps all the flavors of the tomatoes, the garlic. And then we're gonna add the ground pepper, the cumin, and the salt. All right, it has to be perfectly blend. And then we're gonna use a pat to put it on the stove with a little bit of vegetable oil. You can use 1 teaspoon of olive oil. And then we're gonna put it on the stove.
So Ivan, after all the family recipes there, what is your favorite recipe on the menu?
You know, it changes every day. Every day I craft something else, but one of the most favorite recipes, it's our chile relleno with chile pasilla oaxaqueño, which is a chile that you only get from Sierra Mije. Very fine to hard. You don't find it here in the United States. You gotta bring it from Oaxaca, and that's what we do on weekly basis. We bring products from Oaxaca, our quesillo, chiles de agua. So this particular chile relleno recipe is not your traditional chile relleno where we use chile de agua or chile poblano. It's a dry chili, and then you stuff with shredded chicken. But just the flavor of the chile pasilla mije. Mije is a region of Mexico, of Oaxaca. It's one of the 8 regions. It only grows there. You can only find it with a couple ladies in the Mercado de Abastos. It's really hard to find. It could be expensive if you buy it local or you live in Oaxaca. It could be a little expensive chile. It's like a luxury chile relleno. So it has that roasted flavor. You don't have to grill it. Spicy. It's totally different texture than the traditional relleno with cheese or with chile poblano or chile de agua. That's one of my favorites. I think it totally represents the food from generations back. So we're gonna go back to Marcelo. We're gonna put it now on the pat. So we're gonna add the onions. 1 cup of
Yes.
chopped onions. we're
Ivan,
gonna put it on the-
as we're going through the recipe, I noticed like the recipe we have here is rice. Are we going to be making the rice? Can you tell a bit more about that?
Yeah, we're gonna do the rice is gonna go in the meatballs. So we'll show you how it's part of the meatballs process. We'll show you how to integrate the rice to it. So right now we're gonna start cooking the onions. You're gonna cook it for about a minute until it gets crushed a lot. And then you're gonna add the tomato sauce that is already blended. And then you're gonna cook it for how long, Marcelo?
20, 25 minutes.
You're gonna cook it for about 25 minutes. And that's gonna be your sauce for your albondigas. So now we're gonna go back to the prep, and then we're gonna show you how to make the meatballs, and then that's how we're gonna integrate the rice. So for the meatballs, we're gonna use the 2 pounds of ground beef, 80-20 if recommended. We're gonna use 1 cup of chopped onions, white onions, 1 cup. Very good. And 1 cup. And then you're gonna use 2 ounces of parsley. Chopped parsley, Italian parsley, 2 ounces. And then we're gonna integrate 2 ounces of jasmine rice.
Now that's cooked jasmine rice, correct?
No, it's raw. This one, the rice is raw. So you're gonna cook the rice with albondigas, and it's gonna have the albondiga texture. It's gonna have the finish. It's gonna help the albondiga to stay together. Then we're gonna have 2 ounces of ground pepper. 2 ounces of breadcrumbs. And then we're gonna do cumin. You already left cumin, yeah? You got it. All right. And then we're gonna add the boiled eggs, 2 boiled eggs. The wolves. And the boiled eggs have to be chopped. And that's how you mix your look for the albondigas. Boiled eggs on top. And then we're gonna mix everything together. The parsley, the onions, the rice, the salt, the pepper, the cumin, the breadcrumbs. So the parsley is gonna give a lot of flavor. The rice is gonna give you a lot of texture to keep the albondiga together. And making those meatballs stay together. The albondigas from Oaxaca are a little different. It's not, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's not traditional stew. The stew or soup of albondigas is more like a guisado.
Yeah, 2 ounces of salt.
Add the salt.
When was the last time you were in Oaxaca, Ivan?
Right before the pandemic, March 2020, I came back the day LA County closed the restaurants. I go there every 3 months to see the mezcaleros and also see my mom and get new recipes, but that was the last time. My mom is fully vaccinated now. I'm fully vaccinated. Marcelo is, so hopefully we can go back to Oaxaca in the next couple months. I, I miss Oaxaca, and I miss my family, and I miss the recipes, and I also miss those mezcaleros. So it's time to go anytime soon, but we also gotta respect, because we gotta make sure everybody's okay in Oaxaca too. All right, so we're gonna start forming those albondiga bowls. So the breadcrumbs obviously are gonna help you to form and keep them together.
About how many pounds of meatballs do you guys go through the restaurant?
I'm sorry?
How many pounds of meatballs do you guys go through
Well,
with the restaurant?
this one we can go through probably 10 pounds to 15 pounds a day on a busy weekend. We also do it for special tastings or for caterings.
We have a couple more saludos from Judy Klein in Covina, and also Maria Garay Perez. She says she loves Madres.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the support.
Are you guys starting with doing brunch again?
Yeah, we do have brunch in our West Hollywood location. We started a different menu since we opened here. More like brunch oriented. Besides chilaquiles, we have amazing French toast with a Oaxaca recipe, which we also have barbacoa de borrego, lamb barbacoa on the weekends here from 11 to 2:30. We also have gravy mozas. We also have huevos divorciados, and we have an amazing menu from 11 to 2:30 at West Hollywood. We're probably gonna start in Torrance, but Torrance is super busy during lunch anyway. So I think we're gonna keep brunch for Fairfax for now. But it's going well. It's going amazing with the brunch hours.
Yeah. Do you have any brunch cocktails available that are special for the menu during brunch time?
You know what? We only have our mimosa and our mimosa with mezcal, but all the other cocktails are available during the happy hour, because our cocktail program is well designed for any hour of the day. It works really well for a happy hour, for dinner, and also for brunch. And obviously, you get your michelada with a mezcal, and instead of your traditional Bloody Mary, well, that's a really good brunch option to have a michelada and a mezcal shot on the side.
It's beautiful how Oaxacan cuisine has just been showcased so much in Los Angeles and in California. Just the wealth of knowledge and indigenous ingredients, a real celebration of what Oaxaca is here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's we consider Los Angeles, Oaxaca, California. So I consider myself, after living here many years, I consider myself a Oaxaca Californian. But also, we have a tremendous indigenous people here in LA from Oaxaca. We have one of the highest population here in LA from Oaxacan communities here, and that's one of the reasons that I'm here, because I found myself like in Oaxaca and LA. The weather is kind of similar, people are amazing, the traditions were so close to the border too, and it's also it's a little bit better of access if you want to bring something from Oaxaca. As I said, we bring the products every week, so it's not complicated. It's complicated, but it's not as complicated as other states getting Oaxacan products here in LA. So I found myself in Oaxaca, here in Oaxaca, California. So we have the albondigas now, and then we recommend to put those meatballs in the fridge for about 20 minutes, so it can cool down, and that's gonna help you not for the albondigas to stay together. All right, so we're gonna put those in the fridge, and then we're gonna assume that we take them out. So we're gonna put it in the fridge right now, and then we're gonna take some albondigas that already been in the fridge for about 20 minutes. So we're gonna go back to see our stew. So we're adding a little bit of beef stew that we have on the side to the albondigas stew to give a little flavor. And as I said, the albondigas, they don't have to be like a soup. We don't use any vegetables, any carrots. or any potatoes or celery. It's more salad. And then once it starts boiling, then we're gonna add the albondigas to it. So the sign is when you start boiling, then you add the albondiga meat.
Ivan, Pastor Herrera says, congratulations to you and to your restaurants. Could you substitute cilantro instead of parsley for the albondigas?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that is preference, but traditionally we use a lot of parsley. But yeah, I don't see why not.
And then we have one of our viewers, Lilia de Rios. I think she's there at the West Hollywood dining as we speak and watching us via her
Oh,
phone, I'm
wow.
assuming. So yeah. Another question, someone's asking peppermint for the
What?
herb? To instead of parsley to use peppermint?
Maybe menta.
Menta.
Yeah, you can use menta, or you can use. Sometimes you can use a pasote too. But we prefer parsley based on my mom's recipe. So you're gonna add the meatballs that are already cooled down for 20 minutes. So you're gonna add it into your stew. One by one, so that way they don't break apart. And then we're gonna leave it there for how long, Marcelo?
24 more minutes.
24 more minutes. Make sure you respect the time with the tomato cooking, like you see in the back, the tomato and the onions. And then you're gonna respect the 20 to 25 minutes of the sauce here being cooked. And then another 25 minutes for the meat to be cooked. So you have a total of 65 to 70 minutes together. Otherwise, the tomato is gonna taste like, the tomato sauce is gonna taste like raw tomato sauce. So it has to be perfectly cooked so you get all that guisado flavor. So the albondigas start cooking really, really fast. So you don't want to overcook them for more than 20 minutes. Otherwise, they're going to break apart. And then we're going to lower the flame to medium for the next 20 minutes. And just let it cook. And we're going to show you how the finished product is after 20 minutes, because we did one recipe in advance. Right over here. El parsley para que vean. Okay. After 25 minutes, once the albondiga meatballs are totally cooked, you can add the parsley on top as well. Unas ramitas de parsley para que le dé el sabor. And that's one of the secret recipes for Oaxacan cuisines. Either you use a ramita de parsley, or you use a pasote, or you use avocado leaves on top for any other recipes. But this is one of the secret flavors here. Just add the parsley, throw the parsley to it, and it's gonna give you more flavor. You can leave the parsley there after you finish cooking, or you can just take it out. And then this is the texture that you're looking for on the albondiga, on the guisado. It shouldn't be too thick, and it shouldn't look like a caldo. It's in the middle. It's in between.
Are you gonna? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, what do you serve this with?
You serve it with white rice. Traditionally in Oaxaca, you serve it with white rice, and we're gonna show you how to platter. So vamos a enseñar. So we have our other team members here working. We're about to start happy hour too. So we wanted to do this live so people can see, what we do on daily basics, and also what our team members do, and working in the restaurant and being an owner, being a chef like Marcelo, or being a kitchen manager like Jonathan. We spend most of our time in the restaurants.
So it would be great, what we do is for all our in cocinas is once the dish is served, if you can hold the bowl and we can take a picture, that way we have capture a moment, so a shot, so that we can have that on Instagram.
So we're gonna use one of the white rice here. You can use white rice or red rice. In Oaxaca, we eat a lot of white rice. And then you're gonna plate it with albondigas. And that's what I say, it's more like a guisado than a stew. or soup. You know, it looks more like a guisado.
Mhm.
And you can share it as a main, you can serve it as an appetizer. You can get corn tortillas as well and make a taquito out of it. You know, basically like, you know, the way you eat a chile relleno with sauce, more like a guisado sauce.
Like you said, so-
Uh,
Now that you have it, can you hold it up and we can take a picture of you?
yeah,
Maybe-
this is a good, or you want it to
it'd
go,
be great to see you.
yeah. Parsley. Let me see if this is okay. What about like this? Can you see it right?
We see Marcelo, but we don't see you.
Okay. What about
Ahí,
there?
ahí está bien. Let's hold it. I know we have our
Yeah.
masks on, but we'll pretend to smile. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's our Albondigas recipe. That's how you gonna find some Albondigas in Oaxaca. I never try Oaxacan Albondigas in a different way. I've seen a couple different recipes and they're very similar depending on the region because Oaxaca is magic. So we have 8 different regions. So you might find, you know, like substituting parsley for avocado leaves. We use a lot of avocado leaves, or they can use, you know, white rice instead of red rice. But I never seen any albondigas like a soup style or stew style. It's more like a guisado, as they say.
It looks very delicious. I can't wait to go down there. I've picked up food at the West Hollywood, but I haven't had a chance to go in now that we're available. I know you have 50% inside the restaurant. Can you
Yeah.
tell us where both locations are located so folks can come visit or see your Instagram as well?
Yeah, of course. So our Instagram page is Madre_Los Angeles, and we have 3 locations in Los Angeles. The original in Palms, 10426 National Boulevard, and it's near Culver City National and Motor. We have our Torrance location in the South Bay, Juan Cabrillo Avenue. It's in the corner of Cabrillo and Torrance Boulevard in the South Bay. And we have our newest location here in West Hollywood, 801 North Fairfax Avenue, corner of Fairfax and Waring Avenue. We have free parking in the back. We're open for lunch and dinner in all 3 locations. We have happy hour 3 to 6 at all 3 locations. And we have amazing mezcales as well as the best Oaxacan food in Los Angeles.
No, absolutely. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much, Chef Marcelo, Ivan, for sharing your story, sharing your food with us. Definitely happy hour, definitely very soon. And definitely let's go support our local restaurants and go inside now that we have a 50% capacity, y más, or takeout, whatever which way to help support our community. Muchísimas gracias. I can't wait to try out the recipe and also to go visit you at the restaurants. Muchísimas gracias. Se lo paso a
Gracias,
mi
and thank you
compañero.
everyone for joining us. Thank you.
All right. Well, gracias, Chef Ivan. Gracias, Jimena. That was delicious. You know, I didn't see, where did the egg come in?
The egg came in when they were mixing it up with the meat.
Okay.
With the meat, they had hard-boiled eggs, and then they cut them up and smushed them, and then it was part of the assemblage with the meatballs.
All right. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to try out that recipe because I love albondigas. Unlike Ivan, he said he wasn't a big fan, but he really misses. Well, I missed my mom's, and she finally gave me the recipe, so I'm gonna try hers, and I'm definitely gonna try Ivan's as well. So thank you, Jimena, for joining us today in En Casa con la Plaza Cocina. Let's see, next week on En Casa con la Plaza Cocina, we have direct from El Paso, Taco Campesino with Emiliano Marantes from Elemi Restaurant. That's next Monday, May 3rd. So that should be a treat. He was, in fact, in a show, wasn't he? Jimena?
Yes, it's on Hulu. It's on Hulu. Food of the
Padma,
Nation.
yeah, Padma Lakshmi, her show. So that should be a treat. I'm looking forward to seeing his Taco Campesino. Well, thank you so much, Jimena. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on En Casa con la Plaza. Next, like I said, next Monday, May 3rd, Taco Campesino. But this week, we also have Programs coming up on En Casa con la Plaza. On Wednesday, we have Frida Kahlo, Crossing Borderlines, with our good friend, Dr. Gloria Arjona, an educator and art activist. She'll be talking about Frida Kahlo and her duality, how she was able to cross borders, not just physical, but also emotional, social, and so on. So that's Wednesday, April 28th at 7 o'clock. On Friday, April 30th, I'm looking forward to this. It's Latin World Salsa Funk with Gabriel Gonzalez of La Verdad, one of La Plaza's favorites here at our summer salsa series. They'll be recording this afternoon here at La Plaza, and we'll be showing some of the clips from the recording and talking about La Verdad and Gabriel's journey in the world of música here in LA. And then finally, on Saturday, May 1st, an early Cinco de Mayo with David Hayes Bautista and company, talking about El Cinco de Mayo, an American tradition, not only about the history, but also the song, dance, and theater of this holiday, which really originated here in 1862 in California after the Mexican Army's victory over the French Empire. So that's the rest of this week's En Casa con la Plaza. Any last words, Jimena?
No. Thank you everybody for joining us. And I hope to see you guys through En Casa with Aldo during the week. And I'll see you guys next Monday with our guests from El Paso. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And if you didn't catch this entire performance or you'd like to see it again, it'll be posted on our YouTube. It's also on our Facebook, also on our website, lapca.org. La Plaza de Cultura y Artes is open. Go to our website, lapca.org, and you could make reservations for Thursday through Saturday, open 12 to 4. And also, La Tienda has reopened and will be reopened this weekend as well and weekends to come. All right. Muchas gracias a todos. Thanks to our sponsors, Kaiser Permanente, PepsiCo, and all of you. Nos vemos pronto. Bye-bye.
Gracias.